Hey everybody, Patrick here. I just want to take a quick look through some FX charts of what's been going on. First up is dollar index. Dollar index is looking better for sure. We're back above the 50-day moving average, and the 50-day moving average has rolled positive. It's not trending up. Got a little bit of a bearish cross on the stochastics to worry about, but not too worried about that. But interesting, the contract low is just early in the year. It's back here on January 6th. Move on to euro. And the euro is kind of grinding sideways. Back in January 6th, the euro you would think is up around their high, the inverse of the dollar index. Had the ultimate low back here though in early February, and now we've still kind of been grinding sideways. Fine and dandy, but if you also look at the 50-day moving average here, it is also rolled over and it's bearish now. It's rolling negative, so something to be a little concerned about there for euro bulls. Now look at the Swiss franc. Swiss franc is a whole nother ballgame entirely. Swiss franc is down at its contract lows of the year, and dropping. We had a bit of a bounce yesterday, but it's off again today. And like I've been talking about the last couple of days, the Swiss franc, we used to call it the kind of the crazy little brother of the Deutsche Mark, because it would lead the Deutsche Mark to a great extent. And the euro now, of course, is really just a proxy for the Deutsche Mark to a great extent. So leads me to believe the euro has got some weakness up ahead of it as the Swissie keeps getting hit. Looking at some of the other currencies, British pound. British pound's been doing awfully well. Really nice there. So I don't really have a position or a thought in there at all, but it does seem to continue to go higher versus the dollar. And I don't know if that's really going to stop. It's just got a pretty well clear path, pretty clear chart in there. The yen, on the other hand, which is another safe haven currency, just like the Swiss franc is to a great extent, is also down near its contract lows. And I think that's also telling as well, too, that the dollar is doing very well against the yen and against the Swiss franc. Not quite as well versus the euro, but euro keeps holding in there. But I don't know how much longer that's going to hold in. Another currency, a couple others that have been interesting has been the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, they've been doing a lot of rate hijinks over there, so I think that's been bolstering it up quite a bit. And you can see it's held above its 50-day moving average since early November, which is quite impressive. And on top of that, it's getting a bullish kind of divergent stochastics rollover cross bullish that might help it go even further. So Aussie seems to have some good legs behind it. How about Canada? I haven't looked at the loonie in a while. Loonie's grinding sideways, not doing too much, but again, another little bullish crossover of its stochastics. Could be doing okay on there. Interesting to see that could be moving higher. And it's interesting to see some of these currencies that are moving higher, like the Aussie, like Canada. Basically, those are the commodity currencies. So it does make a little bit of sense. So even the dollar looks pretty good. The commodity currencies, everyone's talking this big surge in commodities coming up. That commodities are going to have a big year. The commodity currencies are doing awfully well. So that does make some good sense. See if there's some other FX charts that look interesting. I'm going to pull up the peso. Peso's been doing some hijinks. There's Mexican peso. It's fallen off a little bit, and we're down close to its contract lows again. It had this breakdown here, this bearish negative break, and same issue with its 50-day moving average. That has rolled over negative as well. So keep an eye on the peso. It seems to be weakening off a little bit. The dollar's kind of taking it to a little bit. And one other one I'd like to watch a little bit is the Brazilian real. This is dollar Brazilian real at Brazil's B3. This is a pretty amazing contract. It's got a big volume. Looking at it right now, we've done 2 million contracts in there already today, and you can see this is mini US dollar futures versus the real, and you can see its dollar is again just piping higher, hitting up close to contract highs. But look at the liquidity in this thing. That is a really thick, it's a small contract, it's a mini contract, but tremendous liquidity, and again, it's a good indication of what's going on down in Brazil, so worth keeping an eye on that one as well. That's it. Just want to do a little quick update on what I'm thinking of some of the currencies. Talk to you later.